Welcome to the InnovA Podcast, a place for auction business owners who have built successful operations but now want to scale their companies and leave a lasting legacy in the industry. If you want more growth, less grind, you've come to the right place.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the InnovA Podcast. I am so excited to introduce this show to you because we are starting a very exciting journey, an exciting story, and it all begins with my very special guest, Jodi Amaya, the founder and executive vice president of InnovA Technologies. Welcome, Jodi. Thanks for being on the show.
Hi, Brandon.
Today, we are going to be talking about the very beginning of our story, which will lead to your story and how you began in the auction industry and where we are today with InnovA and where we're going, especially as we look at the auction market. And what I want listeners to keep in mind is to think there is this auction industry, you own a business, and you need to scale this business, and there are limitations that are stopping you from scaling. And so what we want to talk about is what is going on within the auction owner's world inside this market, and there might be a place for technology to step in and help. So Jodi, you are the auction world. That is your brain, your history, the way that you're brought up, the way that you have your emphases, your skills, your background. It is thoroughly in the auction space. You're not an outsider at all. This is your bread and butter, your whole life's work. But what I want to hear from you is, where did it all begin? Take us back to the very beginning of Jodi Amaya and your emphasis, your background in the auction industry. How did you get started?
I got started with my father, C.E. Vaughn. He was a salesperson at heart, and he would buy and trade and sell equipment before we even had an auction company. If he had something, he would later turn around and sell it, and he was always trading and making a deal. And so in the summers, when I was not in school, I would run around with him on whatever it was that he was doing. And he stumbled across an opportunity with Atmos Energy at the time to auction off a few hundred lots. And so we did it. He would not say no to business. He would always say, Jodi, you say yes and you figure it out later. And so that's what we did. We had this couple hundred lots. We had no technology. We sat at a football field in Kemp, Texas. I had if you can picture at the post office where you used to slide all the post office people would slide all their letters into these little slots. And so we had these handwritten lot tickets that had a description with a lot number, and we would put it in these little post office things. And then somebody would come to check out, and I would write it on a piece of paper, and we did it all by hand on a little, table, like a concession table kind of thing. Very small, very old school. But we had really great results. And so Atmos Energy asked us to do it again and again and again. And that led to me getting contract jobs with other auction houses until eventually I grew up and became an adult and had children. And I went into the real estate, commercial, multifamily side of business. But I would take my vacations or opportunities. I would take off work and go work for my family auction or for other auction houses that needed help doing whatever. And it just became a part of my life, but not until, my kids were probably 10 years old, and as teenagers, 10 and 12 years old. As teenagers, I wanted to be home more with them. And so I decided to quit my gig in real estate and work full-time for the family. I never, ever had a plan of, I'm going to be an auctioneer. And then my father also talked me into going to auctioneer school in 2008. I'll never forget it. Mike Jones. I was one of the only girls in the room. There was a few of us, but they weren't as timid as me. I was very shy, very introverted. I sat in the back of the room, and Mr. Jones called me up right away. And So that week, I think as I humiliated myself, once you humiliate yourself bid calling over and over in front of so many people, they become your lifelong friends and you just become numb to it. However, I have not bid called since I left there, but I am still an auctioneer. We like to call ourselves colonels. That's how it all started, which we can go into another day. So I haven't gotten my team to start calling me colonels yet, but I'm still working on it. So in 2008, I got my license, and my family business continued to grow. We ended up selling to a larger auction company. And then in 2020, InnovA was born. So I kind of transitioned from auctions into technology, which has always been a passion of mine. And then InnovA was here. So here we go.
Okay. I want to get into all of that. What I love about this story is you were at the very beginning, you were on a football field with the most non-technological setup ever. And you had to do these things by hand, and it was very manual, and it was, your limits were basically what you could move with your hands or move around a football field or call somebody eventually, And so you've been there where you've seen this technology progress along the way, but you've also come up against these limits because it was yours. I mean, it was your business, you were growing, and you were like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
And so you had this aha moment, kind of building this business over time. What was that time where you were like, you know what, I think there's actually better ways to do this. I think there's technology that can get involved here and help us out and help us grow this business. What was that maybe epiphany for you, or that aha moment, or that transition to think differently?
I think it's strange to me. I don't know how to express it sometimes. It's a visual thing that happens for me, or something that I hear or see. When you're in a room with a really good auctioneer or a really bad auctioneer, there's this energy in the room. But I'm the same way with other processes. My former team would tell you that I used to say, let's take technology out of it and just look at it from beginning to end. But then later, when I started to add technology to it, I just thought of them as steps. So how many steps does it take to get this thing done? Whether that is creating an invoice, or how can we do it better? What are our customers saying to us? How can we automate that? And I used every auction technology software. I say every, there must have been every one, or the majority of them. I used all of them over, 20 years. I'm going to show my age at some point, but over many, many, many years, I used all the technologies, and they were very good at the time. But you start to outgrow technology at some point, or your business is just changed and evolved, and the technology may have not gone where you wanted it to go or where you needed it to go. So I started to create those lists of I would like to have this, I would like to see this, not knowing that I was going to build a technology company someday. But that's how it ended up, was just going through it, doing it myself, frustration, growing pains.
That's right. And so then it was, you're going through this product management journey, if you will, kind of writing feature requests and
I didn't know that's what it was called at the time, but yes.
Yeah. And so now you're thoroughly in this in the technology world and bridging this this legacy where you've come from in auction and now into technology. So tell me a little bit about InnovA. But before I want to be clear, this is not a hard sales pitch and talking purely about InnovA, but what I want to get across is you are in the thick of it, doing and building these kind of, platforms that are super, super helpful for the clients that you've had and the kind of, problems that you've been solving for many years. And I want to kind of talk about in this show, how this market is evolving and how owners can actually be thinking about from a technological perspective to help grow their businesses. And so with that, tell us a little bit about what you're working on at InnovA and how you're seeing this technology come together. And then we'll talk about the future state from here.
I want to back up just a second and explain, my needs as an end user is how I started conceptualizing InnovA. But it wasn't until COVID that I was brave enough to go to an investor, and because I didn't have a job, I didn't know what I was going to do. The world was changing so quickly. But I went to investors who are local Texas billionaires. I'm very fortunate to have that opportunity to speak to them. And I poured out my vision of what I was thinking, but my vision wasn't just about the tech, it was about the people that are involved in this space. Like my family, most auction companies, or a lot of auction companies, are multi-generational businesses that work hard, that have a good business plan, but are lacking sometimes in resources. Or can I afford to go out and build technology? I'm intimidated by technology. I know I need it, but I don't know what to ask for. I know that it's important to my business. I don't know how to do all of that kind of stuff. It's vulnerable, it's intimidating, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of things that come along with that. And so, but there was a need for it. If my company was growing and the way that the world was changing with our users adapting to online services, then every company was going to need technology. Every auction company is going to need technology. In the auction business, and we evolve with the economy. Our ups and downs are usually positive in the auction market. We're very fortunate for that. So the need for technology is not going to go away. But I wanted to come up with something that would help our customers make custom technology or configurable technology very affordable, but also that it helps them grow their business. I think of these people as hardworking people that are using multiple tools that does not make them efficient. They come to me and say, Jodi, you know everybody, or you this or that. Who can I hire, or can I hire you? And I try to explain to them, I understand the importance of people, don't get me wrong, but what if we can make your employees happier, feel more accomplished, balanced, meaning they get to balance a personal life and their business life. They're not there till midnight before the auction. We can make those people more effective and grow your business with technology, that we can build in logic and automation. And after we do that, if you still feel like you need more people, great, I'll refer you some. But I know that InnovA is a good partner, that we can help our customers move forward and build something that is worth what they're building monetarily. You don't want to build this business and not be able to own the assets that you're building, be able to create value in your company, and so that your legacy has something to live forward with.
Tell me, to emphasize that a little bit more, where you're saying to own the assets and build a legacy. Like, why is that important to you? Why did you highlight that?
It's important because I truly believe in the marketplace. The marketplace added value. It took my small family business and allowed me to go globally. But what happened in some ways, if you make a purchase at Amazon, do people know Brandon or do they know Amazon? And if you're trying to get your brand out there and your customer service, then and if you want to say, as a company, I have 10,000 bidders, I have 50,000 bidders, and if I want to go open up a business right next door to you, now you're sharing all those bidders with the marketplace. Do you want to bring those people over to your white label and own that data? A true white label where you own the data. You can do whatever you want with that data. You can resell it. You can build AI into it. You can create logic from it. You can do all kinds of things. That creates your business asset value. If you say to somebody, come buy my company, what is the worth of your company when you don't own assets other than brick and mortar?
This is a really important point. I know we're going to have future episodes on this, but I want to highlight that, because this is, if you're building a business, you're building a legacy, I love that word that you used, it is essential that you have the assets to be able to own and sell and do what you want with them, because there is a limit to the marketplace growth, or there's at least some trade-offs that you have to make, which is fine. It's great to start there, and it's great. That's how you grow, in the beginning stages. But at some point, you need something that's gonna help you, scale past that limit. You're gonna have these trade-offs at some point.
I agree. I think the marketplace absolutely has value, but let's look at what your business plan is. I think everything is about my customer. InnovA is 100% behind the scenes. We are a technology partner, but our name is not everywhere. We are about our customers, And that's our goal, is to sit down. We do consultative selling. We say, what is our customer's goal? Where are you trying to get, and how can we help you achieve that?
That's great. That's great. Okay, so with that context in mind, tell us a little bit about InnovA. Just again, not a sales pitch, but just what are the things that are important to you guys when you're seeing the problems that you're solving in this market and the marketplace, in this industry, and the kind of things that you're emphasizing in your product going forward?
Absolutely. So we, InnovA has many different products, many different services, but we are an all-in-one solution to run an auction company from end to end. We have retail customers as well that just do retail, but really my background is in auctions and how to move inventory to revenue quickly. So where I like to do is, when I meet with a customer to do a demo, I ask them, what are their pain points? What are they looking to solve? Is it cost of their technology every month? Is it that their inventory is bad descriptions? Is it what exactly is going on with them? And so I can solve that problem with what InnovA does. I have no doubt that we can't fit most customers' needs. Now, we will continue to evolve in our technology as we move forward, so that we can fit more customers in the future. But we're focused on our customer specific needs right now, and the things that we can solve their problems.
Yeah, awesome. And so you've got there's like simulcast technology, there's a back office, there's kind of a front office. You've got the different I guess components or processes that are part of an auction business that can make it function, like you're saying.
Absolutely. We have the back office product that is your CRM, your inventory management, your accounting, your event planning, your cataloging, your everything from beginning to end. But it is also connected to your storefront, so that you don't have to have as much upload, download time, renaming photos, doing all those different things. And then you can still work with your third-party marketplaces if you choose to. And we will build your white label brand. We have an e-commerce site. We have inspection apps. We have mobile apps. We have many different services for virtual ringman, buyer conversion services, all types of different things.
That's great. I love hearing it because like I said, you've been there, done that, and you just know where all the pieces are that really slow a business down. And so you guys are working on automating a lot of that, which is great.
And I'm excited to tell people, InnovA has not done a lot of marketing. We started going to trade shows more this past year, just for people to know who we are. And I think we're a little bit different in that way. We're kind of under radar, so not everybody knows what we do. But we strategically planned that. So that we have several large customers that we wanted to make sure that we're happy with our end-to-end solution. And so now this next year, I want people to know who we are, what we're doing. We're starting this marketing campaign. Y'all are getting me on camera. It's not my most favorite thing in the world, but I can talk about InnovA all day long. So I'll get on camera for those things. But I love all my bid callers who can take all the energy and do all those things for me, and I'm behind the scenes. But for InnovA, I will do most things. So here I am. I love what we do. I'm very passionate about our customers and what we have to offer.
That's great. Yes, I can confirm the convincing it took to get Jodi on camera to do this microphone or to do this podcast. So it's been a great thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to keep telling this story. So before we wrap up, Jodi, can you talk a little bit about where you think InnovA is headed in the next 12 months, 36 months? Give us like the 3 to 5 year plan. Like, what are you guys working on? Where are you pointing your ship, as it were, and what you're building and hoping to achieve in the future?
My goal is to be known as the industry solution. We want to service auction companies from their end-to-end solution, and that means their accounting, their customer management, which is their bidders and their consigners, to their storefront, the way that their brand looks, to help bring customers to brand independence so that they can manage their company, they can set their goals. We're helping them and confirming that they're reaching their goals. They're outgrowing and more than what their goals have been set. We are a business solution, not just an auction solution, that we want to help and manage and partner with our customers. I want our customers to be the ones that help us grow, that I don't have to do a ton of marketing, that my customers are speaking for us, and that we want to be known as the industry provider and solution maker.
That's great. That's great. You heard it here first. If you're listening, if you're a customer, get on this show. Jodi doesn't want to do it anymore.
No, I'm happy to do it if they sit right here next to me, and I'll talk to you all day long about InnovA. And my team is amazing. My QAs, my BAs, my engineers, architects. I call them all now my auction babies, because they go to auctions and they know this stuff backwards and forwards. So when you hear the saying, built by auctioneers, they may not all be auctioneers, but they have been living and breathing this for years. They come up with some really great and clever solutions. I would love to show it to anybody that wants to take a look, and I challenge you against some of the smartest people in the room for sure.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, final word. What do you hope that people take away from the show, this story, from getting to know you and InnovA? What is the takeaway for them to keep in mind for this show?
I want you to call me. I want you to talk to me, and I want to show you what InnovA is about, so that I can then have you believe that InnovA is the trusted partner to help set your business goals and help get you to the next level.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you're listening, please go to innovallc.com. That is where we're going to have all kinds of great resources coming out very soon, including this podcast. And sign up for our newsletter. Take a look at our blog. Get to know the team. We are excited for you guys to jump in. Please leave questions, comments, wherever you see this podcast. And hopefully we'll be able to feature that sometime in the future. So, Colonel, thank you for being on the show. We are
yes.
we are
You're
grateful.
A quick learner.
I'm learning the auction industry one step at a time.
Yes.
So I'm excited to get to future episodes, and we will see you then. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Brandon.